Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We are here with some breaking news. The news that a lot of people have been waiting for. That is about Gabriel Magalhaes, our centre-back. Of course, the other night against Fulham, he went down injured in the 16th minute of the game with a hamstring injury. All of us at the time went like this. You know, we've got Saka back. Now our best defender goes down injured. Our leader, our guys are expert at set pieces just ahead of this Real Madrid game. Please, God, don't let it be a bad injury. Let it just be a knock. Well, unfortunately, the news that is coming out today is that it's not just a knock. It's a major injury. We don't have yet the full results of the scan, but what we're being told immediately is that he's definitely going to be out of both ties against Real Madrid, not just the home leg, but both games against Real Madrid. And that, of course, is a massive, massive blow to Arsenal. He's been absolutely brilliant this season, not just in defending, but also from set pieces. He's shown leadership qualities, everything you need for a game like this, and he's going to be missing. Yet again, Arsenal going to be without a key player at a very, very important juncture of the season. And it's just been a season that's been cursed with injuries. So Gabriel looking like he's going to miss both of those legs against Real Madrid. And it's an absolutely massive blow to Arsenal. One bit of good news is that Jurrien Timber, who also came off injured in that game with a knee injury, it looks like his injury is not as serious. It's more a knock, and he should be fine for the game. Whether they'll decide to risk him in the game against Everton at the weekend is going to be another matter. For me, you don't make him go anywhere near that game. I mean, much as I want to win that game against Everton, I think Jurrien Timber is going to be a very important player to have, especially now that Gabriel's out. And where do you play Jurrien Timber if he's fit for that game? Do you possibly move him into the centre-back position alongside Saliba? I saw Saliba the other day playing sort of on the left-hand side of the two centre-back positions when he was playing for France. It was Upamecano on the right-hand side, Saliba on the left, and he was absolutely brilliant in that game. So could you say put Timber in there as a right-sided centre-back, a position that he does play a lot for the Netherlands, or do you leave him on that right side and hope that possibly Ben White is back? Or is it that it's going to be Timber, Saliba, Kivior, and then maybe Lewis Skelly on the left-hand side? It's going to be one for the manager, because at the moment, still no talk of Calafiori being back for the first leg either. So it's a real conundrum for Mikel Arteta, and it's devastating news about Gabriel. I mean, how important has he been this season for this football club? He's been absolutely brilliant. He's been consistent. And in a game where you're coming up against the best attack probably in world football, in Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, you want your best players and you want them fit. And that is not going to be the case for either leg against Real Madrid. So absolute massive blow for us. Just going back to it, with the Jurrien Timber one, as I said, hopefully, according to what we're hearing, he's going to be fine for that game. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Where would you play him? You keep him in that right back position, or do you move him? And then we're still to hear about Ben White. Will Ben White be fit for that game? And if Ben White is fit, do you play him at right back? Which, you know, in that right back position, he's looked a bit shaky since he's come back from injury. Hasn't seemed to have quite the pace that he had last season. Or do you possibly move him into the centre-back positions where you know he can play that position, play that very, very well alongside Saliba? Or do you just stick with Kivior? It's going to be really interesting to see what Mikel Arteta goes with. The one thing we do know is that Saka is back and Saka is fit for that game. That is the one bit of really good news. He scored the other night, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him in the Everton game as well. Does Mikel Arteta risk him from the start, you know, to get him starting a game because, psychologically to start a game, then he's kind of feels like he's really back. He started, he's came on in some minutes and got some minutes and scored, starts a game, maybe has a positive, outcome in that, get him off early and then have him ready for that game against Real Madrid. It's an absolute massive game. It's the only thing that Arsenal have got a chance of winning this season, especially after the result last night with Liverpool beating Everton. We all kind of knew the league was already done anyway. But what he decides to do, Mikel Arteta, on Saturday against Everton is going to be very, very interesting indeed. We may get an indicator of what that centre-back pairing will be against Real Madrid. Kivior, if he plays in that game, I think that might indicate that he might get that starting position. And is Kivior going to be able to step up to the plate and deliver a performance that, can match what Gabriel can do? That is going to be the question, but it's a massive blow. As I said, so far we don't have the full results of the scan. These are just what's being leaked out. And football clubs do this a lot. When they know some bad news is coming, when they know that, they may already even have those scan results because, why would it take so long? They've got private doctors to do this sort of stuff. And I've had a scan before and, on my back, and that was ready half an hour afterwards, right? This news is probably known already, but they're just trying to break it out there in a way. So first of all, feed the journalists a little bit of news about it so it can sort of alert us fans as to what is coming, which is Gabriel is going to be out. How long he's going to be out, that's another question. Could it be that he could return before the end of the season, that if we did have a positive result against Real Madrid, could he possibly be back then if we were in a semi-final against, either Aston Villa or PSG? Again, we won't know until the scan results come back on that one. So that's something that we're going to have to wait on. But what we do know is that Gabriel is definitely going to be out of both legs against Real Madrid. Also, of course, will definitely be out for the game against Everton. And that is a huge blow for Arsenal's chances of going through. Let us know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you, as I said, about who you think should come in for Gabriel. Also, what you think the back four should be for this game. And also, what does it do for our chances of winning this game? I've been famously saying that we've got, a 40% chance. What does that now drop that to in your eyes? Let us know in the comments below. But once again, Gabriel out for both legs against Real Madrid. But better news on Jurrien Timber. Jurrien Timber should be fit for that game. He's only suffered a knock and should be fine. But we won't know if he'll figure in that game against Everton. We'll have to find out on the weekend. Run the clip.
Kai Havertz.
Was he on course for a 20-goal season?
Yeah. You are a bit of a flip-flop, innit?
Define flip-flop.
You need to answer some questions as well.
How are you flipping this around?
Turkish is excited.
Can't a man be excited for what?
So you were excited, right? Jesus outscore Erling Haaland. Who's that big guy? That one, you're missing someone here.
Who? Go on, say the name. I dare you say the name now because I got one more loaded. I got one more here loaded. Say the name. Say the name.
Target number 1, Christian Benteke.
Lock the whole thing up.